computational thinking. Mr. Tennyson here. Sorry I couldn't be with you today. My kiddo's sick. But I do want to go ahead and put out a lecture for you to watch. And we're going to do something fun. We're just going to try some different ideas with dictionaries so you can see how we can do more than just an inventory system for some mystery shack shop. I hope you enjoy and try out some of these ideas on your own if you're in the mood for it. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started with this example. And I think what I want to do is make some kind of little RPG type simulation. I like to make these as simple examples, and I'm just going to kind of work from scratch here. I don't have like a pre-made idea, so hopefully this video isn't an hour long. But I'm going to go ahead and kind of get my ideas out in comments, and one thing I want to be able to do is create a character. I want to be able to have random monsters, maybe one or two, and I want to have a little battle simulation, and this will just be like die being rolled, or dice being rolled. We're going to simulate that, kind of like Dungeons and Dragons or something. And then we'll have some text displaying what's happening, and maybe some kind of score. That's all very ambitious. Let's see if we can actually accomplish it. So the first thing I need to do is lay out my program, and we know that ultimately we're going to have a main method, and that main method is going to run the rest of my code. I'll go ahead and pass down here, and then I'm going to have a create character function. We'll say pass for now. Random monsters. What could we do here? I don't really want to, I don't want to necessarily like create the monsters myself. I just want to like have some monsters come up and exist. So maybe we can create them with some random values. This could get really complicated. Random monsters. Let's see. Create random monsters. We'll have a function for that. We don't know what it's going to need yet. The battle simulation. So all I'm going to do here is say like battle, and it's going to be monster versus character. So we'll say character and monster. We're going to assume that that function will need both of those things, and we're going to have some kind of display function here. This is very general, so for now let's just do a simple one. We'll do a print header, and that one's pretty straightforward. We can just say print welcome to the monster battle arena. Why not? Okay, and then once we have a function that we can actually use, we can come down here to print header, or excuse me, come down to main, and we can run our code, and it says welcome to the monster battle arena. Maybe I throw in some monster faces. What would those look like? Ugh. Oh, that's kind of cool looking. That's all you need is like a mouth, and then we'll do like a tab. Oh, this is kind of an alien or something. I don't know. And we'll just do another line of those, and maybe we'll multiply them by 2, so that they just show up twice and cover this entire thing. Okay, and then I think we just need maybe a tab or 2 here. Why not? That's probably not the best way to do it, but that looks pretty good. Alright, cool. Welcome to the monster battle arena. We should like reverse it, but I'm not going to dwell on that for too long. Okay, what's the next thing we need to do? Well, we need to create a character. So a few ways to think about this. We could either do all of the inputs in our function, or we could pass the inputs in as a argument. And so I think I want to do that. Let's say that our character is going to have a name. Class is a little complicated because let's just do name, HP, attack value, and then what else could they have? Weapon. This will just be something fun. And then what we'll do is we'll say we're going to return a dictionary where the character's name will be name, the character HP will be HP, and the attack will be attack value. Just a little bit of difference there. And then weapon will be weapon. Now this is very similar to another Python data type, not really data type, but another Python tool and fundamental bit of knowledge called a class, but we're not going to really get into that until the spring, so we'll just stick with this for right now. Alright, so I'm creating a character, And what we can do is we can come down here and then we can write some inputs to get the data we need to create our character. So notice we're returning a dictionary, which is just composed of the information we've given about our character. Now you're asking me, like, why wouldn't you do that why wouldn't you just write that down here in main rather than doing it all in a function? Well, I could want to come up here and make some changes associated with creating a character, but I don't want to have to rewrite or do those changes in main. We want to keep this area down here, our main method, very clean and organized. So it's typically better to just write that kind of stuff up in the functions. Okay, so let's go ahead and prepare to call our create character function, create your character. And so what we're going to do is we will say, let's see, car name will be input, enter your name, and then car HP will be input. I don't know why you get to decide your HP. Ooh, we could make it random. That's fun. Let's do that. So we'll do random.random. You can have, let's say, between 4 and 12 HP. Why not? So we need to come up here and import random. All right. Let's see, our character's attack. We're going to do the same thing for the character attack value. We'll give it a random integer. And let's say that this is going to be between 2 and 10. I'm just making these up. If we were actually trying to make a game, we would do some math and determine what's appropriate. All right, and then weapon, let's do this. For this one, we're going to do a random.choice, and we need some weapons to choose from. So let's create some weapon data up here. And actually we'll make this what's called a constant. It's a little bonus knowledge for you there. A constant is basically a variable that we know will never change. And so it doesn't actually matter if we use capital letters or not. It's just what we call a convention, a typing convention when we write Python code. If we are declaring a variable that should never be changed by the programmer or the code itself, then we call that a constant, and we typically use capital letters. In other languages, you actually can create constants that cannot be changed, meaning it's part of the code that they can't be changed. In Python, it's more of a friendly suggestion. So anyway, let's give some weapons. We'll say, like, maybe we'll make some funny weapons. So mace made of eyeballs. That's kind of weird. Let's see, sword. Twizzler sword. That's kind of funny. Let's see, what else? I'm not trying to be on theme here. Just a flat cannon, all caps. Why not? Dire shotgun. And what's that? You can really get a mix of things here. Let's see, what else? Okay, let's just leave it at these four, because I can't think of anything else right now. Okay, so, oh, I know. Spaghetti machine gun. Why not? Alright, cool. So now what we can do is we can say, alright, the weapon will be a random.choice from our all caps weapons constant. Now, another thing you could do, maybe, and you have already thought about this, you could actually do this. You could say weapons and then give names like mace, and you could say that that mace has an attack value of 12, and then what you could do is say that the attack value is correlated to the weapon. Which kind of makes more sense, but for right now we're just going to leave it this way. Okay, maybe we'll go back and change that later. All right, I'll make a to-do. To-do. Correlate weapon with character attack. Why not? Okay, so let's move on. I've forgotten what I was doing. Let's see, we need a weapon, and that's the last thing that we need. So now we can say, all right, new character will be the result of calling the create character function and giving it car name, car HP, car attack value, and, I don't know why I typed and weapon. Now, in Python, let's see, is that going to cooperate? I think it will. Let's see if I get a syntax error when I do this. My code doesn't even run. Okay, it looks like it's working. Cool, so it's a little stuck together, but it appears to be working. Let's go ahead and put some things in here. Oh, I did enter my name. Oh, wait, do we have a character? Let's see. New character is not defined. What's up with that? J, new character. New character is not defined. Well, what happened? Is it because we're outside of main? Let's just do print new character. Maybe that's our problem, is that main stopped running. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so it looks like we are creating a character with a name, HP, attack, weapon, which is pretty cool. And what was I saying? I said that okay, so we've got all of our inputs, which there's really only one input. We are showing our character, or we're creating our character. Right, so create character. What's it do? Well, it takes these things we've given it. It goes up here, and it says, all right, well, I'm going to make a dictionary out of those things, and I'm just going to return it, right? And when it returns it, what happens? Well, it goes from inside the function, right? This function is evaluated, and it gets returned. I wish I had a little pointer, but then it gets returned into new character. So that's where the data, where the dictionary ends up, is inside new character. All right, we're getting kind of long and winded here, so let's go ahead and finish up with the rest of our functions. To make some random monsters, I can basically use all of my code from create a character, except the names are going to be randomized, and maybe they won't have a weapon. So in order to make a bunch of random names, I can do the same thing. I can say monsters and create some pre-existing monsters, like dire weasel. Let's see, lethargic anaconda. These are all animals. Let's do something that's a little more mystical. We'll do a astute goblin, and we will have a let's see, more idiot dragon. Just a really dumb dragon. Dragons are never dumb if you know anything about D&D. They're always very smart, so that's kind of funny. So in this case, what we're going to do is when we create random monsters, we're going to need some monsters to pull from. We'll just go ahead and pass that in. Actually, that shouldn't be a constant. I don't know why I did that. Monster list, okay? And then we'll just say return a dictionary where it's monster name, just so we have some clarity here. And we'll say monster list, or random.choice, choice monster list will be from the names of the monsters, and then their other information is going to be set in the same way, but this time we're actually just going to do it in the we'll do it in, what do we say, 4 to 12. So we'll make them relatively even. Their HP is 2 to 10. Okay, so we'll say, or excuse me, the attack value is, I guess I'll change all these to monster. Monster, HP, monster, attack. And that's going to be the same thing. We'll say random.randint, 2 through 10. And then the last one, oh, I forgot my commas. Okay, for the last one, I'll do something interesting. I will say that monster weapon will be natural. Let's see if I can do this. If monster, let's see, how can I do this? Let's do this. We need to have another variable here. We'll say monster name will be random.choice. So we're just doing a little refactoring here. We're going to clean up our code to make it make more sense for what we need. So we're going to say monster name, and this is going to be actually monster name. Okay, so this makes sense? We're basically doing the same thing we did right here, except now we're moving it up here, and the reason I want to do that is because I want to use the monster's name in an expression like this. So I'll say natural weapon if monster name is not equal to what is astute goblin, astute goblin, else we'll give him a sword, busted sword. Okay, so basically what we're hopefully doing there, I can't remember if this is going to work. I can't remember if you can write these expressions like this inside the value, but I think that you can. And if not, actually, we could just do this. We could, and in fact, this is better code, so let's go ahead and do it. We're going to say natural weapon if monster name is not equal to astute goblin, else busted sword. Now, you might be wondering, how do you write an if statement like this? Well, when you have these very simple if statements, it actually makes more sense to write them this way. This is equivalent to saying this. We could say monster weapon is equal to none. And then we could say if monster name is equal to natural weapon, or excuse me, if monster name is not equal to astute goblin. That's what I meant to say. Okay, so we can say if monster name is not equal to astute goblin, then we're going to set monster weapon to be natural weapon, else monster weapon equals busted sword. But you can see that that is actually much more long-winded, and let me go ahead and change this down here so it's not extra confusing. I'm going to make this monster weapon, right? So this is, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines of code, which is a bit excessive for something as simple as this. So we can write this expression. It's the exact same thing as all this right here, but it's expressed in one nice line, and it gets stored in that variable. At least I'm pretty sure that's how it works, if I remember correctly. We can always look it up if not. So there's that. And so let's go ahead and see if our create monster function is going to work correctly. So we're going to say new monster will be the result of calling create monster, and in this case we only need to pass in our list of monsters, which we've done here. So let's see what happens when we run this code, and I'll go ahead, just like I'm printing out new character, I'll say print new character to check and make sure it's looking good, and then I'm going to say print new monster to check on it. It's just a way of troubleshooting my code. So let's run it. We'll say our name is J still. All right, create monster is not defined. What did I call this? Create random monsters. Okay, so let's just change it to create monster for now. Let's say he battles a different monster every time. All right, cool. So it looks like it's working. I've got a character that looks correct, and I've got a monster that looks correct. All right, so now what we can do is kind of have them battle, and then we'll come back and clean it up and make it look nice and pretty. So let's have them battle. Let's finish our last function here. We're going to say if character dot, no, I'm thinking about classes. So let's see, if character dot get, wait, hold on, let's see. How do we want to do this? We want to have them both, let's have them both hit each other and just see what happens. All right, so we're going to say character dot get attack is going to, what's it going to do? It's going to affect the monster's HP. So we're going to say monster dot, we'll say the character gets to go first. So the monster dot get monster HP, we're going to subtract that from the character's attack, right? And maybe to make this a little clearer, let's just throw out some variables. We'll say monster's attack will be character, or excuse me, monster's attack, or monster's HP, sorry, will be monster.get monster HP, and then character attack will be character.get attack, and character HP will be character.get HP, and monster attack will be monster.get, and what's that called? Monster ATK. All right, monster attack. All right, cool. So now what we can do is we'll just say monsters HP minus. Ooh, no, we should update our dictionary as well. So we're going to say monster monster HP. Monster HP. Ooh, hold on a second. How do I want to do this actually? Well, let's just keep going. We'll do this for now. This is a little long-winded, but we'll say that their HP will be equal to whatever it was before, minus the character's attack. This would be so much easier with classes, but that's okay. And the character HP will be character HP minus monster attack. Okay, so I think that's gonna work. Yeah, and okay, and so at this point we will say who's going to be victorious. Well, we'll say return character let's just do that. We'll print it out first. We'll say print character wins, and we'll put this in an if statement. So we do need a regular if statement here. So we'll say if monster, I should have put this in a, if monster HP is greater than character HP, there we go, then we are going to yeah, so we're going to say print the monster wins, else print character wins. Okay, cool. So we'll go down here now that that function's pretty much done, and then we'll say, all right, we're going to have a battle, and we're going to pass in our new character and our new monster as the combatants. And let's see what happens when we run this code. Our name is Jay. Okay, in this case, the character won. And let's see, we'll run it again, and we'll say Jay again, the character won again. So let's actually do the math and see. So Jay started out with 12 HP. His attack is 5. The monster started with 8 HP, and its attack is 5. So obviously, there's no situation where the character is going to lose. Now, we can add some elements of randomness to this to make it more interesting. So there we got HP of 12 again. Let's try one more time. See if the okay, in this case, the monster won. Let's see why. So the character's HP is 4, and its attack is 3. The monster's HP is 6, and its attack is 10. So if we were to check, on this data, and I can go grab it, I'll just go grab some code from up here, so I'm going to type all that again. If I were to check on this data after the battle, I'm sure I would see that it makes sense. So we'll say character, oops, not monster, because now we're outside the function. Remember that monster and character in this function do not exist outside that function. So what do we need to reference when we say, or when we're looking for data about these guys right here? Well, we need to give them their real name from the main function code. Go ahead and change this to HP. All right, so now we'll run this again, and let's see. J. All right, monster wins. So in this case, the monster had 10 HP left, which makes sense because 12 minus 2, the character's attack is 10. And the character only had 4 because the monster's attack is 7, and the HP is 11. Now, if you wanted to make this even extra, a little more extra, I guess is the way of saying, you could randomize the attack values every time. Or you could base the attack value on the weapon that they have. Like, you could do lots of other cool stuff. So let's clean this up a little bit more. We're going to add in some fancy text, or to make it a little nicer, and then we will call it a day. So thanks for watching. If you want to do something like this, you can. You can do all sorts of fun stuff, and you can probably do it better than I can in this short little video. So here we go. Let's clean it up. And there you go. That's our working monster battle game. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and maybe you can create something interesting on your own if you are so inspired. See you next week.